was just saying earlier that it's going to be a very strong first round. I think first round of the draft is going to be very strong. I think there's going to be 12 players in that draft that can really impact the league. So we were just talking about it with Coach Olson about how this draft looks so much stronger than last year's draft. And watching the players play, it's got some good depth. We'll see what happens in the second round. We have number 10, but we'll see what happens. We have a couple picks in the second round as well. So the problem is that you end up looking at you're watching these games. You're watching Justin Baltazar. You're watching Bulungai, and you're watching these guys play, and they draw your attention, they draw your eyes, and we know we're not going to get any of them. So we have to have the discipline to not look at them and look at the other guys, because that's who we'll really have our plan. It's not easy because those guys, those top of the draft picks, they really catch your eye, and you want to watch them. They're fun to watch. So, but we'll see. We're always coming to a draft looking for a big guy, but doesn't look like there's anyone available in terms of just a pure big man outside of Justin. So, we'll turn our attention to best available athlete who, filling out a position. But we're not going to really look at whether it's big or small. There's a good point guard available in number 10. We'll go after him. So we'll just have to wait and see who drops to us. But it's a good draft, and I think we're going to be a lot of teams are going to be happy about their picks.
Would you feel like maybe in the second round you'll still be able to get some quality players?
We're looking, that's a little harder to find, the jewels, and it's more than just seeing them here in the combine. I mean, you've got to do more research than that. You got to see where they're coming from. In the college leagues and MPBL, you need to take a look, go a little deeper on those guys, deeper dive. But the guys like Ildefonso, the guys who aren't here, Bearfield, those guys, those guys are all locks to be in that first round. So really, we're looking more for the second round. We'll take whoever drops to us in the first, and then we'll look more for the second round at this point.
Coach, obviously you being here, you've already shifted your focus to Ginebra as early as today after that Gilas.
Well, yeah, it's. We just got back late. We got back 2 o'clock in the morning yesterday, so still a little jet lag.
Right.
But this is an important thing. I couldn't make the one. I couldn't get up for the one yesterday. I wanted to come yesterday, but this is an important thing for us. It's an important thing for our organization, for Ginebra, and I needed to be here. And so this is an important process every year to come here and understand this draft and get the players that we get. And it's not something you can miss easily. I think I wasn't at the one last year because we were doing something with Gilas, and so this is my first one in a couple of years. So, and I guess it's a good timing because it's a good draft. So, like I said, this is an important part of the process.
When are you going back to practice with Ginebra?
I think on the 18th, July 18th, we'll come back to practice. I have most of the guys coming back. So we have a few more days off. I know a lot of the guys. I know Maya and Coach Kirk went to the province to do some intense workouts, trying to get him back and ready. We don't think he'll be ready to start the conference, but he should be maybe within a few weeks of the opening. He might be available to us. We're excited to getting Maya back. It's been over a year, almost a year and a half since we've had him. So we're excited about that. And Jamie's still going to be out for another few months, so I don't think he'll be playing the next conference. So that's, again, someone we can look for maybe to help us replace Jamie in the meantime here in the draft with our second round pick or something like that. We're hoping Aljon gets back from injury, and that'll help a lot if we can get Aljon back from injury as well. And I don't know. That's about it for us. We'll be back on the 18th and looking to delve back into what we're doing, try to get it better. We've been, like I mentioned a couple days ago, we only made the semis the last two conferences. We haven't got to the finals, so we're going to try to take that next step and get back into the finals.
How about Justin Brownlee? Is he...
Yeah, Justin went back to Indonesia yesterday. His last game, I think the last possible game would be August 4th. So soon after that, he'll be joining us. So maybe somewhere at the end of the first week of August, he'll be back with us. So we're excited about having him back. I know the players are super excited, and we all know the quality of his game. Looking at Gilas, thank you. Looking at Gilas and the way he played there and his history with us, I think it's exciting for the fans to have him back in the country.
Coach, aside from Baltazar and Balongayo, were there other players who put your eye?
Well, if I tell you, I have to kill you. But those are easy to mention because I know we're not going to get on them. So the other guys, we got to keep them a little quiet. So we'll keep those under our hat. And like I said, I think that's really, obviously 12 deep. There's 12 strong players in this draft. They're going to fall to somewhere along the line in the first round. And maybe a couple of those guys will slip and go to the second round, and we'll get some surprises in the first round. But if there's 12 really good ones, that means we're number 10. We're going to get one of them. So, like I said, whoever slips, we'll get. But we don't want to inform the 7, 8, and 9 who we like. So we'd rather keep that under our hat at this point. There's a lot of subterfuge that goes in the draft pit. You're always pretending to like that guy and really liking this guy, and it's like playing poker. You got to bluff. You got to So guys who are good at poker end up being pretty good in the draft.
Are you looking for Gilas players too here in the draft?
Well, eventually, yeah. I think Justin would be a real candidate for the national team eventually, but I don't see us making any changes to the 12 at this point, as long as we can continue to be healthy. I don't know how Scotty's going to be coming back. Jamie's still going to be out for probably through the next window. We're still hoping AJ will join us at some point. And at that point, we'll decide when we find out more about them coming November, we'll decide. You just got me talking about Gilas. You weren't supposed to do that.
Stop it already.
But, we'll decide. That was sneaky. Talk about subterfuge. No, we'll decide at that point who to add and who to ask and see if they're available for us. But we're going to continue to try to stick with our original 12. There was a reason why we wanted those three guys that we lacked, and on the lineup, and so that hasn't changed. So as long as they're healthy, they're going to be continuing to be a part of it.
So Scotty will also be out for Ginebra?
We don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to Scotty yet since I've been back. I know he's been continuing his rehab. Like I've always said, the back issues are one of the toughest to really latch on to in terms of how you rehab it, how you get it right. The last resort for a back is really was surgery. You want to do everything you can except have surgery, and so I don't really know where Scotty is at this point. He was not good at all before we left for the Inspire camp. He had taken a turn for the worst since the semifinals of the last conference, and just having trouble standing up and walking around. So we don't know where he is at this point. I'll talk to him in the next couple of days and figure out. He may miss some time. We'll figure that out later. But Scotty's Scotty. If he can possibly play, he's going to figure out a way to play. But it's kind of like we have to hold him back. We have to be the ones that say, no, Scotty, you can't. And because he'll never admit that he can't. He just got that kind of personality. So, and you know, again, I've said it before the OQT started, that everyone knows how much I rely personally from a coaching side on Scotty. You know, I mean, everything is built around and through him. So it was a big loss for us in Gilas. We had to move players around, put them in different positions, especially Dwight. And I think we could have gotten more out of Dwight if he had been in a natural position. But having to play out of position, I mean, he was still great, and he's always great. But being on a scale of 1 to 10, he's a 10, and maybe in his comfortable position, maybe an 8 in an uncomfortable position. So that's kind of what we were forced to do with him. And Scotty would have alleviated that. And just that extra energy guy, you know, and you get to the third game, the fourth game, that energy guy continues to push everybody else. So I really missed him. I mean, I'll always miss Scotty. He's one of a kind. The only other guy that I can compare him with is Johnny Albarientos. I just rely on Johnny too, and the same kind of feeling with Scotty.